So we're going to change the ink on the pink photo booth. A couple of things with the pink one. This printer is called an HITI printer, and what you're going to get is you'll get a box like this of ink. So it has HITI on it, so you want to make sure you have the right box of ink. It's kind of like a long rectangular box. And inside of it, there'll be 2 rolls of ink. They look like this. They'll both be in plastic bags. This one is not, but they'll both be in plastic bags. And also inside of here, there'll be 2 rolls of ribbon. The ribbon comes in a bubble wrap bag, just like this. And you can see it comes just kind of like, you know, squished in there together like this. So what'll happen is normally Kerry or myself will have already gotten one of them ready for you on this black tray. So in theory, in the box here, when you get to it, there'll be 2 rolls of paper, there'll be a tray with ribbon in it, and then there'll be one that does not have ribbon. When it's time to change the ink, what you're going to do is you have to make sure there's, you know, put the new ribbon on here. So if for any reason you're changing twice during an event, or maybe for some reason, you know, we don't give you one already prepped, what you have to do is you're going to have to get this tray ready. So to do that, you will take the ink out of the bubble wrap. You're going to have an empty tray like this. What you'll do is you'll take the ink. You'll notice on the bottom of them, I can stand it up here. Let's do it this way maybe. There's like an end that'll go in here, and then down here there's a part that clips in. You can only put them in one way, so you can't do it the wrong way, but you have to sort of make sure you do it the right way. So what I do is I'm going to take this, I'm going to slide it in the bottom here. Get it, and then I'm going to clip it in, so it clips in quite loud. And then I'm going to take the other ones, the same thing, I'm just kind of sliding this in the hole down here, and then clipping it in like that. What you'll notice is the paper goes underneath, if that makes sense, so it feeds out from underneath, it doesn't go over the top. So if you look right here, you can see how it kind of is going underneath as opposed to over the top. So that's important to realize, because when you load it up, if for some reason you do it wrong and you have the paper coming over the top of the roller, when you put it in the printer it won't work, or so there's an error. When you put the paper in, or the ink in I should say, not the paper, if it's like all kind of like, you know, like this, again, you're going to want to make it tight, so you can just roll one of the ends. It really doesn't matter which one you do, but just roll it up to make it tight. It doesn't matter what color you start on, so you see this is yellow, this is pink, this is blue. It's just the way the printer works. It doesn't matter which one, you know, what color it's on when you load it up. You're just going to have it be like this. It'll correct itself when you put it in there. So then to change the ink, because now you're ready, what you're going to do is you're going to unclip the black buckle that is right, you know, there's a buckle holding this in place in the photo booth. You're going to open up here. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take out the ink. That's the easiest thing, I think. So what you're going to do is it kind of gives you instructions. The little button, it says push. So you push it down and this thing kind of pops out. So you take this out. You will put in the new one. You can only put it in one way. It doesn't go in the wrong way. So you can only put it in one way. If you try to do it backwards, it just won't let you put it in there. There's no way to do it. You're going to feed it in. And make sure when you push it in, you're going to make sure it clicks in. Okay, and then you know it's in properly. This one now, what you're going to do is, if you have time, which is best try to do this, is take these out. So just unclip these like I did earlier. So just unclip these out of here and then just throw this away. But the black tray, you want to try to keep. If you throw it away by accident, don't worry about it, but try to keep the black tray. So in theory, there'll be an empty black tray in my hand right now, and I'll just throw that back in the box, so I might need it later on or whatever. So just try to save the tray, but the actual ink, you can just throw away. Change the paper. What you're going to do is you're going to push this button right here, and this is going to kind of like release it. So when I push the button, it's going to eject it out. Now, sometimes when you change the ink or the paper, if you try to pull this out, sometimes the paper will be a little bit in the machine and it might not come out. You'll try to pull it and it won't move anywhere. So if that happens, this right here winds the paper back in. So all you do is you just turn this a little bit and you'll feel the paper kind of move in. And then again, you press this button and then I can pull it out and then it'll come out. So just if you find that it's, like I say, if the paper is in there a little bit, you'll go to pull it and you'll feel it won't come out. So you just turn that. So we're going to pull this out. You'll see in here all the little pieces that have been cut off when the photo booth was doing the prints. You want to try to make sure you throw these away at the end of the event as well. So try to leave these in here when you leave. But what we're going to do is we'll take all of these and we can just throw those away. We don't need those. They just go in the trash. And then you are going to push this button down, and this kind of like enables this top part to come up. So you have to push it down, then lift it up. So we're going to lift this all the way up. You can kind of turn it over if you need to. Then we're going to take our paper. We're going to remove the old paper. And there's a gray circle thingy. And there's a green one. So you take those off. This old paper, because there will still be some paper on here, but if it said it's out of paper, it's done. We're going to throw this away. We don't need to keep any of this. And then we're going to take our new paper, take it out of the bag. You see this already has the black one size, so we don't have to, that's why we can throw that away. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take the green end, or the gray, it doesn't matter which one you do first, and you're going to try to put this in. So it's a little bit confusing. They changed this a few years ago for some reason, but if you look in here, there's a whole bunch of different slots, I guess. But there's only actually two real ones. I don't know if you can see this or not, but there's one right there, like a square one. It's kind of hard to see. And there's another one here. So this one only has two. And if I look on the gray one, you'll see this one only has two, one on each side. So this one has to fit into there, and it slides in. If you try to do the wrong spot, it won't go in. So you can't do it wrong. But eventually, if you line them up, so you see right here and right here. So I'll take them, stop sliding. I'll take the other side. So the green one, you'll notice, has 1 and 2. So in here, again, if you can see, there's a 1 here. And on the other side over here, there's the 1, 2. So I'm going to take this, take my 1, 2, line it up, and again, drop it in, and then it goes in. Again, you can't do that one wrong. If you try to do the wrong place, it won't go in. So you can just, you can't do it wrong. But once it fits in like this, you then come back over here, and just like with some of the other booths, there's green to green, and there's gray, turn it this way, there's gray right here. So what you do is you'll take this and lay this in, and it just kind of slides right into it. And then you're going to find this little pull tab right here. So you'll take this off, and then you are going to, a little bit confusing here with it. So this is like this way around right now is how it's supposed to be. This is like the correct alignment. So you'll take this and just kind of pull it out a little bit. So it's kind of hanging like this. Lower this down, clip it in, so you know, hear it click. And you'll see right now that the paper is sticking out way too far. So if I hold it like this, you'll see it's come out way, way, way too far, which is good. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this wheel that we used earlier, and you're going to turn this, and you'll see the paper starting to go in. So what you'll have to do is just have the paper stick out a little bit. There's kind of like a little black lip right here. So you're just going to have it kind of sit where the lip is. Again, you don't want to have it all the way back in here. It won't work. If that does happen, you have to open it up again and just, you know, pull it out, close down again. But you want to have it just a little bit. So we'll turn the wheel. So there it is a little bit. The other thing you'll notice here on the front, there's a 6 and a 5 line, a 6 and a 5 line. So this is 6-inch wide paper. So what you want to do is have these kind of be a little bit aligned and straight. It normally will just correct itself, but if for some reason you had it like, I don't even know if I can really do it, like really messed up, so that's kind of like really far over here and this is over here, it's going to tell you the paper's wrong. It'll say wrong size paper. So then you just want to come back and just make sure you have it kind of in the middle area. It's hard to get it super wrong, but it's going to get, you know, it can happen. It's just like that. Then we'll take this, we'll slide this in. I'm just going to real quick, because I think it's going to do something. I'm just going to change this. You wouldn't need to do this, obviously. This is an old ink. And then I will just close this up. And then you'll hear the photo booth possibly kind of do something. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it'll like spit out a couple of blank ones. Sometimes it doesn't. So, you know, if it doesn't, it's fine. But as long as you have the green light, then in theory it means you're good. So you should better go around the front of the photo booth and then click print or whatever, and then it should print your new pictures. So And then obviously this is going to be inside the box. So then after you get done with it, just remember to take the clip, because there's a clip right here, and make sure you clip the printer back in, because you want to make sure the printer is held in place. If not, when you're leaving the event and you lift the photo, the photo booth up, this is going to bang around inside and might get broken. So make sure you always reattach that black buckle. Do it right away, then you won't forget later on. So yeah, that's it.